Would you like to know how to ramp up your sex life? Well, Michael Eckford is going to show you.
It's an interpretive dance piece I've been working on for a little while. Dr. Teesha Morgan joining us, sex therapist, and study out, I believe it's 75% of Canadians would like to ramp up their sex life, ramp up their romp. Hi, Teesha, how are you? Is that right? Was it 75%?
It is 75%. Good memory.
That's a pretty crazy number, really, when you think about it, 75%. Now, does that mean that people are unsatisfied in their sexual lives, or does it just mean people always kind of want more?
I think everyone just wants more. I think people are just open to the possibility of exploring and, you know, opening up that side of their sex life.
And tell us a little bit more about this study and what kind of questions were asked and what kind of answers that you received.
Well, I mean, the KY Intimacy Report asked many things. One of them was the 75%, you know. Another one is that the majority of Canadians are open to increasing the level of playfulness in their relationships, but that wanes as time go on.
And what kind of time are we talking about? Because, you know, there always is the honeymoon phase,
right,
and then when does it kind of get to that point where people are like, we should do something?
Well, the study says that when couples in long-term relationships have been together for about 5 years or less, they're having sex about once a week or more, and then the time they reach 10 years, that drastically decreases.
Decreases from once a week to what?
Yeah, we don't talk about specifics, but how open are people to having that conversation usually? I mean, that's the other interesting side of the coin. 75% of people are sort of, you know, want to ramp it up. How many people are actually willing to start that conversation and have it?
Well, I think women are usually the ones that poke at it first and kind of get it open.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Thank you.
Because women are the talkers usually.
Yes.
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 And what about the guys?
Not so much, but yeah, women usually, you know, start the conversation and men follow through. And men actually are a little bit more open when it comes to fantasies and trying to explore that way with their partner.
How do you start that conversation in sort of a way? Because for people, sexuality is so wrapped up with so many other emotions and so many other, and it can feel very judgmental. How do you begin that conversation with your partner about changing your sex life or just talking about it?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple good ways. I mean, one fun way to do it, if you're kind of nervous about opening up about fantasies and what you want to see changed, is to print out a picture, an image on the computer maybe, of a fantasy that you would like to see happen, and cut it into a bunch of little pieces, and then store the pieces throughout the house where your partner may find them, maybe in their shaving kit or shoe. And
Should you tell them that you've done that?
Yeah, probably.
I want a picture of a dragon in my shaving kit.
Dragon, how interesting.
Well, Michael, Dr. Teesha would now like to speak to you. But turning things into a game rather than having a serious conversation that might somebody feel awkward or put down is probably the better way to do things.
It's a better way, right? And then your partner finds these pieces and puts the puzzle together, and then it's their job to kind of try to recreate
go, wow,
this.
you're a freak. Yeah.
No wonder you didn't verbalize this.
Okay, let's talk about social networking and how this is involved with how people can ask their questions.
Facebook,
Facebook, yes. So we created the Facebook Intimacy Experiment page where couples can go and ask me any sex or relationship question they want completely anonymously. And we record video responses for a few every single week. And it's a great way to get the conversation going and get those questions out there.
So what kind of questions are the women asking?
The majority that come from women have to do with low libido, how to spice things up in their sex life. You know, they've had children and they have no energy. What can they do? Men is, you know, more to do with
the usual.
The usual, yeah.
How much does your libido change sort of throughout your life, and especially as you get into childbearing years and having children and all that kind of stuff? How much does that affect your libido?
Oh, drastically. Everything from age to stress level, things like starting a new job or money issues all affect libido. Same if you're not working out enough, if you're not going to the gym. Just exercise in general can boost your libido.
Because I think people are always looking for that magic answer, right? I mean, if they're not feeling like, woohoo, I'm a sexual dynamo, they're always
dragon.
Or dragon. A dragon. But they're always sort of looking for that way to boost it up, but there really aren't any simple answers, are there?
Yeah, the little blue pill, everyone wants that, right? To fix everything. And it's really about how much effort. One of the main things that separates successful relationships from unsuccessful ones is how hard you're willing to work to put forth the effort and maintain that connection. So it really is scheduling your partner in. Date nights, really important.
Making time.
Making time for your partner. I mean, again, the study says the majority majority of Canadians have more sex when they're on vacation. Seems obvious.
Yeah.
But of course, going on vacation, not always the easiest.
Right.
So little things like bringing vacation to you, tenting in the backyard, even for a day with your partner, and distinguishing between vacations and family trips, important.
Right.
Vacation should always be adult only.
Nice. Well, and if you have a little sex vacation in your backyard, the neighbors all get to it.
A sex vacation? She was talking about
intimacy. Sorry, intimacy. Yet another thing that men do wrong. Sex, intimacy.
Of course, the survey is one thing. Now, you really are a sex therapist. At what point do you think couples should come to somebody like you if they feel like they haven't been able to do this on their own through creating a dialogue?
Yes, I think oftentimes couples wait too long till they're at that fence-sitting point. Should we stay together or should we not stay together? And I always say, you know, it's healthy to come in and explore those things, even if it's not, our sex life isn't what it used to be, and we would like to maintain that connection. That's even a great reason to come in. I mean, there's many things that I can do to help you.
And you can do that together as a couple, too.
Oh, yes. Couples counseling is the majority of my population, for sure.
Well, and having a third person in the room that knows how to frame that conversation as well. So if you do start getting into territory where it's getting a little tense or things are going sideways, you're really there to sort of help people guide it.
To help, like little tricks, like we call the sandwich technique. You know, you start with something positive, you insert something negative or you want to see changed in your sex life, and then you end with something positive. Nice. You know, those kind of techniques for getting the communication out there.
Facebook, once again, anonymous, and people can go on there and they can ask their questions.
Any question you like, completely anonymously, completely free. Facebook.com/intimacy experiment.
So all the questions you were afraid to ask, you can ask anonymously to Dr. Teesha. You can go to the Intimacy Experiment website and post your questions.
So in all honesty, is the dragon thing, that's not a good?
No, fantasy is
I think
weird.
We need to talk later.
We need to have a serious discussion. We're going to take a break.